はい、皆さん、おはようございます。またまた今日も楽しく、11月11日水曜日でございますけれどもね、今日も楽しく、アーバイン市のカリフォルニア州のところからお送りしております。コーチアレックスでございます。今日もお付き合いくださいませ。さて、ここに書いてありますように、投票が始まりました。何の投票かというと、各ポジションで、最高の選手に24時間に1回投票してくださいというふうに言っておりますね。今月後半に MLB ネットワークで、All-MLB チームを発表しますということでね。もちろん、Shohei Ohtaniが、入っていますので、皆さんの協力もお願いしたいですね。Shohei Ohtaniとクローザーのね、ライサル、イギリスライサルも入っております。で、3人を選ぶんですけども、まあ皆さんは、ぜひ大谷さんに一票いただきますように、私も、ぜひお願いしたいと思っております。そうですね。まあちょっとお話をしておきましょう。とりあえずいろんな情報がありますけれども、そのやり方もまた後で教えますので、とりあえず、トラさんの妹、さくらちゃんにお願いしましょう。どうぞ。
大谷といえば、彼は複数のポジションでオール MLB チームに指名された最初のプレイヤーになるチャンスがあります。彼は10スポットの22人の候補者の一人でもあり、第1チームと第2チームでそれぞれ5人です。先発投手、大谷は DH で仲間の候補者 JD、マルティネス、ジャンカルロ・スタントン、ヨルダン・アルバレス、ネルソン・クルーズに対してお気に入りかもしれませんが、先発投手に関しては積み重ねられたフィールドに直面しています。
はい。ということでね、大谷さんの場合だけなんですけどね、二刀流なんで、2つのチャンスがあるということで、倍ですよね。ということで、こちらに DH ですね、代打と言いますか。こちらですね、Shohei Ohtani LA エンジェルスね、それ GD マーティネスボストン、ジャン・カルロスニューヨークヤンキース、ヨルダン・アルバレスヒューストン、それから、ネルソン・クルーズ、タンパベイ・レイスということに出てるんですけども、まあ、どういう人を選ぶかというのが出てくる。それから、スターティングピッチャー、これも見ましたらですね、なんとこちらにShohei Ohtaniが入っております。でこれで皆さんの投票をですね、ぜひ入れていただきたいと思っております。で、やり方はですね、非常に簡単なんですね。まず、ということでね、投票のやり方としましては、まあ、僕のコンピューターは息子の写真がこうやって、アーバインのね、野球部の写真が出ておりますけれども、この下にいていただいて、この、なんと言いますか、そうですね、これは、Chrome のね、あれに行っていただいて、そしてまあ、ここにですね、Angels と書いてくれればいいんですよね。Angels.com ですね。で、これを押しますと、このように Angels が出てきます。そしてこのほら、大谷さんの Vote Now 大谷イグレシアスも For All-MLB Team って書いてあるんですけども、一番いい方法は、まあこれも開けたらまたいろんなとこ行くので、この右側のですね、ここに見ていただければ、You choose the year's best 2021 ALL All-MLB nominee ということで、ここに Vote のところに押していただければ、Vote Now ってここに押していただければ、ここに行きます。はい。これですね、2021 All-MLB voting is open ということで、今オープンしておりますよと。ということで、大谷さんは DH とピッチャーですよね。スターティングピッチャー。多分2つだと思うんですけど、ですから今現在こう見ていただければ、まずはですね、この辺はファーストベース。これをちょっと飛ばしていただいて、ここにね、0 of 1。だから5人をね、セレクトできるというふうに言っておりますけど、ですよね、確かに。で、そうですね。まあ、じゃあちょっといきますよ。ファーストベース。これセカンドベースもこれも関係ない。ショートストーブも関係ない。サードベースも関係ない。キャッチャー。ディズゲネートヒッターできましたね。ディズゲネートヒッター。はい。これはもう大谷さんを選ばせていただきました。0 of 1 player 大谷さん。はい。これ1プレイヤーで落ちましたね。ここでOK ですよと。 そしてここに行きますよ。今度アウトフィールダーもいらないし、そしてスターティングピッチャー来ましたね。大谷さんどこでしょう。スターティングピッチャー大谷さんはありましたね。でここに押していただきますよ。2オフこれ2人目入りましたね。2オフになりましたね。そしてこれだけですよね。でもリリーフピッチャーでイグレシアス、エンジェルス、皆さんはどこでも好きなところで結構ですが、大谷さんだけやっていただきますようにお願いしたいんですよね。で、僕はライス・レギュレーサーをこう押しますと。ね、これいったかな。これ一人ということで。ということで、ちょっとレビューすると、ここに下の方にね、ちょっと見てみてくださいと。そうすると、ここに、このね、スターティングピッチャーのシューザーもいるんですけども、5人までいるから、これもいいでしょう。エンジェルに入ってくれれば、LA エンジェルスのね。デジゲネヒッターは大谷、スターティングピッチャーも大谷、リリーフピッチャーはイグレシアス。ということで、これで、ピックエディットするか、そのまま行ってもうね、投票するかということですね。で、この辺で、私の E メールが入ってて、誕生日も入ってて、ジップコードは9264入れて、うちの方、日本は日本で、で、国は USA だったら、日本だったら日本ということだと思うんですけど、それ、フェイバリットチームは、それぞれみんなどういうチームかわからないんですけれども、僕の場合は、エンジェルスが、フェイバリット、ロス・エンジェルス・エンジェルス、ここですね、ロス・エンジェルス・エンジェルスですね、これですね。ロス・エンジェルス・エンジェルスね。それから、いろいろニュースレーターどの子のいりますか、適当にいる人はいる、いらない人はいらないね。プライバシーをしっかりしてくださいということもこうですね。そしてここで、私はロボットではないですよというここでクリックしていただいて、そして Submit your vote。で、これを押せば、大体ね、Thank you for voting 出てきますからね。で、ダウンロード、バロットダウンロードしてそのまましててもいいし、一応2週間に1回できるということで、昨日やりましたから今日もやってますんでね。また明日1回やるということで、こんな感じなんですけども。ぜひ大谷さんに入れていただきますようによろしくお願いします。では、DH のですね、ちょっと映像がございますので、ちょっと見ていただきましょうか。DH ですね、まずは。
Ohtani has responded incredibly well this year.
It's unbelievable what we're seeing, and we have absolutely not seen this on both sides of the ball in 100 years.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani, what can he do? Hey, way,
さようならって言ってるんですけど
He
ね。
is just a phenomenon like we have not seen in the sport.
There it is. Oh my goodness! That was nasty. Shohei, goodness!
What he is doing transcends sport.
He hasn't won the honor of All-MLB DH just yet. It's Greg and Dan back with you. We're talking nominees. There are 5 nominees for DH, and they're so good, Dan. I think we should talk about all of them. Are you cool with that?
Let's do it.
All right, we have to begin with Shohei Ohtani. 46 home runs, drove in 100, 26 stolen bases, maybe the most overlooked stat on his resume, and 965 OPS, and he was dealing with pitching every 6th or 7th day.
Think about this. This guy can throw 100, and he can hit a ball way over 100 miles an hour.
Right.
I mean, his exit velo is off the charts.
And he can strike people like JD Martinez out, who's one of our finalists. JD Martinez, 28 home runs, 99 RBIs, and 867 OPS. He cooled off in the second half, though.
But he's bounced back, had a miserable 2020 campaign, the COVID-shortened season, bounced back to being more JD Martinez in 2021.
If you talk about bounce back in this category, Giancarlo Stanton's your guy. 35 homers, 97 RBIs, and 870 OPS.
The key for Giancarlo, staying on the field, staying in the lineup. He was the best Yankee hitter in the month of September into October. He had a monster year.
If you're looking for a DH with the most ridiculous upside, he's on your screen. Yordan Alvarez, he's just 24 years old.
Damage. I think if he buys a new vehicle, he ought to just get a vanity plate that says damage, because that's what he does.
He does it a lot. 33 homers, 104 RBIs, OPS around 880 for the Houston Astros slugger. And then the boomstick, 41 years old, 32 bombs, 86 RBIs, and OPS over 830 over a span of 2 different teams.
I know you're going to ask me, how long is he going to continue to do this? I think, Greg, he keeps himself in great shape. He'll do this as long as he wants to. Something tells me he's going to play 3 or 4 more years.
I think he can play till he's 45. Is that egregious?
No, he keeps himself in great shape. He knows what he can do. better off. He knows what he can do. He's made adjustment. He can get to the fast.
結局はね、このヨルダン・アルバレスとネルソン・クルーズ、それから GD マーティネス、そしてショヘイ・オータニ、ジアンカルロ・スタートン、この中からですね、まあ多分5人をナメに、ディズニーでヒッターナメにって5の人って選ばれてますんで、
はい。He covers the breaking ball, still a dynamic DH.
I root for players who silence critics. And to me, Giancarlo Stanton did that in the Bronx more than almost any player. There was a time when he came up to the plate, he was getting booed at his home yard. Those boo birds have gone away in the Bronx.
And to his credit, one of the toughest things to do when you're going through struggles like he had for a couple of seasons is not to lash back, not to fight back.
ジアンカルロがですね、やっぱりヤンキースタジアムでブーと言われてて、結局はもうホームラン打ち始めてブーがどっかへ行ってしまいましたっていう話ですね。
You hear it, but he handled it with class and dignity, and this year he was rewarded, had a big 2021 year.
Now, he's probably not going to be all MLB DH because Shohei Ohtani has to be the runaway for that honor. 46 home runs when you're worried about pitching as well. We hear this all the time. We may never see this again. I've been feeling we're going to see it every year from Shohei Ohtani.
結局は彼が言うのには多分この中でショヘイ・オータニが間違いなく選ばれるだろうということで、まあ100年でこんなもの見たことないということでね、彼はそういうふうにおっしゃっております。続きましてはこちらです。これはですね、ピッチャーのショヘイ・オータニ。
Our list of nominees for best pitchers, right?
For best pitcher.
Let's just call him the next Babe Ruth, right? Because that's what he is. We saw nothing like Shohei Ohtani in the history of baseball, with the exception of what.
歴史の中で、今まで歴史の中で見たことがない。もう、だからそれも、これはすごいですね。ベーブ・ルースも昔言いましたけれども、彼はフォークボールがなかったということで、スプリットフィンガーがなかったので、もうちょっと大谷さんの方がいいんじゃないか。
ERA. So take a look at all 22 nominees. Only 5 get to be part of the All-MLB squad.
結局はみんな選ばれてますけど、この中に5人最終的に選ばれるということで、どうなるんだろうね。
Contra was great for the Marlins. Chris Bassett was the #1 guy out in Oakland. Barrios, we saw Buehler, Corbin Burns, Dylan Cease, Garrett Cole, Max Fried, the postseason hero. Kevin Gausman, the ace of the Giants. The other half of our 22 nominees features Freddie Peralta and Brandon Woodruff, teammates of Corbin Burns. What a year for Adam Wainwright. Got better with age, and no one had a bigger breakout season than Logan Webb of the San Francisco Giants. But you know, Tom, people love to compare Ohtani to Babe Ruth. I don't know exactly what stuff Babe had on the mound that he was slinging up there in the old days, but he didn't have a split that Shohei Ohtani has.
You know what, Greg? Nobody.
はい、ということで、ぜひスプリットをね、見せたいと思います。
Tom, people love to compare Ohtani to Babe Ruth. I don't know exactly what stuff Babe had on the mound that he was slinging up there in the old days, but he didn't have a split that Shohei Ohtani has.
You know what, Greg? Nobody has the split that Shohei Ohtani has. Come take a look. I'll show you what's good about it. Again, we're talking about a guy who hit 46 home runs and 8 triples, and to me has the toughest pitch to hit in all of baseball. This split, why is it so tough? If you watch the path of these pitches, they're all on the plate the entire 60 feet, 6 inches. So it doesn't fade, it doesn't cut. It looks like fastball coming in until right there, the bottom drops out of it. So this guy's splitter is so unhittable. This year, batters hit 0.87 against it. No home runs. In his career, batting average, 0.75. These are bingo numbers I'm giving you. 0.87, 0.75, bingo! That's Shohei Ohtani. Has never allowed a home run on a splitter his whole career. That guy is one of one.
It's practically an unhittable pitch.
まあね、結局は大谷さんのスプリットフィンガーはもう絶対打てないということなんですね。どうやっても打てないということで、彼のスプリットフィンガーは今まで誰もホームランを打ったことないということでおっしゃってます。で、最後になりましたけど、こちらがね、ミナシアン、ペリー・ミナシアンがですね、大谷さんについて話しております。これもちょっと聞いていただきましょうか。はい、どうぞ。
One man that had a front row seat the entire 2021 season is the general manager of the Angels, Perry Minasian, down at the GM meetings there in Southern California. Perry, thanks for taking a few moments to be with us. As you take a look at the future for the Angels, what do you believe is your biggest need going into this offseason?
Pitching. I think we all know, anybody that's seen the team, we need multiples, we need starters, we need relievers. Pitching is the priority.
Perry, fascinating here. Let's do Ohtani for a second, what Alana just asked. Listen, he was wonderful. What you need to do, in my eyes, is you need to up his innings where instead of 100 innings, he can give you 200 innings where he can be the ace of the staff. Now, if you do that, you probably have to take a little something away from the offense because you got to give him some time off occasionally. What's your take on that thought? Let me hear.
Yeah, I'm going with the theory of if it's not broke, don't fix it. Obviously had an outstanding year, will be used in a very similar way. Watching that on a daily basis, I felt privileged. I mean, I think the talent speaks for itself, and the amazing thing about Shohei is off the field. And I wish everybody got a chance to see him in the locker room, the way he connects with teammates.
これがすごいんですよ、皆さん。大谷さんの性格が素晴らしいと。皆さんに野球してる時しか見られませんけど、オフ・ザ・フィールドでそれロッカールームだとかですごくね性格がいいんですよ。やっぱこれはすごいね。みんなあれですよ。だからすごくこうみんなね彼のことを大好きだとおっしゃってるんですよね。
How funny he is, his commitment to his craft is second to none. I mean, just a pleasure to be around.
All right, so fair enough, and again, you can't argue he's going to win the MVP, so I get that. All right, how about the thoughts with pitching? Are the Angels, who have spent, obviously always have a great payroll, are we talking about going out there and searching for top-end starters, or just a plethora of starters, and, whether the third and fourth guys, and adding depth, or both? What's the goal here in this offseason for your ball club?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think we're looking for impact and depth. I think depth is obviously really, really important. The average team uses around 13 starters a year, so we're well aware of that. And depth is, again, vital to lasting the long haul of a season, especially a 162-game season. But impact's important too. What impact could do at the front end of the rotation, the first 2-3 spots in the rotation. It can really transform a team, so we'll be on the hunt for both.
Perry, you guys have two players on that roster that are the envy of all 29 other clubs. Of course, we know Shohei Ohtani, and by the way, there's a guy by the name of Mike Trout that I'm sure you cannot wait to get back on the field and in the batter's box. And you also signed Anthony Rendon to a big deal. Those three guys together were only on the roster together 29 days. How important is it to get Rendon and Mike Trout healthy and back to complement what you have with Shohei?
結局はすごいマイク・トラウトとレンドンこの2人はねものすごいいいプレーヤーだとお金も相当払ってるんだけれども29日だけしか一緒にプレーしなかったとじゃあ彼たちはどうやってヘルシーにして戻ってくるんですかという質問なんですね。
It's vital. It's really, really important. Obviously, Mike is arguably the best player in baseball. What he brings to the club on a daily basis, just you can't find anywhere else. And Anthony is an outstanding player. I think we all know that. What he can do on both sides of the ball, how intelligent he is, how it rubs off on other guys on the field. We need both those players to be healthy and productive. Had conversations with both of them over the last couple weeks. They're feeling good. Hopefully, they're all systems go in spring training, and I look forward to seeing those three guys on the field at the same time.
Perry, this is really, I guess, maybe for the owner, but how much pressure does the franchise feel to get out of this 500 rut, make the postseason? You only made the postseason once since 2009. Make the postseason with these two huge stars on the team. I mean, everybody claims, we never see Trout in October. I know Ohtani, you got to get him signed long-term down the road, too. He's going to want to see some progress. So it really is an organizational move here to put the right people around him where you can win 90 games for a period of time, and we can see them in October. How much pressure on the organization to do that?
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe in pressure. I think pressure is what you put on yourself. We're well aware of what we have on the roster. I think everybody wants to win. I know there's a lot made of Mike Trout, playoffs. I think if you ask Mike, he'd tell you it's not about him, it's about the team and the organization. One of the reasons this job was so appealing to me is our ownership group, Artie and Carol Moreno. They've obviously been committed for years, putting resources into this club. They want to win, and I think for us, we know where we're at as an organization. We feel like if we can add some quality pieces in different areas, we have a chance to be really, really competitive.
And Perry, when you talk about adding, there's 3 different ways to do it, as you know better than anybody, throughout your own farm system, through trades, and through free agency. So when you look at the balance of that, what does your pie chart look like as you head into 2022?
I think trade and free agency, we're going to examine both. And I think as a baseball operations department, it's our job to examine both. We're open to acquiring players in different ways. We did it last year. We obviously signed Jose Quintana and traded for Alex Cobb. So, there's different avenues to acquire players. We're going to be active on both fronts. As far as our farm system, we like a lot of the young arms that had a chance to get their feet wet last year, whether it was a Suarez, Sandoval, Jansen Junk, Reed Detmers. So there's a quality group of young arms that have a chance to be really productive.
The labor scenario, maybe we get this up, maybe we won't. We don't know exactly what the luxury tax situation will be and all those things. The high-end free agents may take a while to sign, so it might be a rush at the end if there is an issue here come December 1st. Can you tell me about that, Perry? How does that handle your plans? Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, it's just like any other offseason. We go day to day, and we've had productive conversations over the last couple of days here in this environment. It's one of the only times of the year where you have all 30 clubs together, and you have a chance to have face-to-face discussions with a lot of the general managers, presidents on other clubs. That's been really productive. From a labor standpoint, I think I have Major League Baseball, the commissioner's office, I have all the faith in the world in. Obviously, the commissioner has a history of productive labor situations, and I don't see that changing. I'm really optimistic.
Perry Minasian, the general manager of the Los Angeles Angels there in Anaheim. Perry, thank you for taking a few moments to be with Chris and I. I know that you've been having a lot of conversations, kicking a lot of tires, and continued productivity for you guys throughout those GM meetings. Thanks for your time.
はい、ということでね、結局は、彼は言うのには、2人か3人欲しいと、トレードしてもよし、そのまま取ってもよし、ということでは、今はもうリリーファー、スターティングピッチャー、これがもうとにかく最優秀、やってますということで、大谷さんもトラウトさんもね、やっぱりそういうのやってもらえれば、勝つチャンスが出てくるんじゃないかなとおっしゃってましたので、だからそれを見たいと思っております。See you later, alligator. See you later, alligator. では、後ほど。